Every class has its own personality, and I think that's one of the most enjoyable things about teaching. This year's class, graduates, I think as a whole, probably had a realistic optimism throughout all 3 of their years. They were high energy. They worked well together in groups and as well as a class. They were there to pick themselves up when somebody was down. I think the class as a whole had a good heart and was in a good place for 3 years, and I know every single one of them are going to do great in the future.
So every class is different, and I would say this class has just been really fun. It's fun for us to see them grow from their first semester all the way till the end, to see them start as timid and scared students who aren't sure how to ask questions to students who just become really amazing and ask excellent questions that challenge us too in a really great way. So this class has been pretty fun to work with.
Class of 2018, I love you guys. We both started at Bradley in 2015 together, so you and I will share something that I can't share with any other class. I love that at Halloween you dressed up like all of the staff and the professors. That was really an enjoyable moment and memory for me.
I remember after the first encounter in gross anatomy with you guys, I came into Carol and said, I'm going to like this group. You are all together very energetic and just put in a lot of work, and I could tell that from the very first day. So I really, really appreciate you guys.
I think a few things I'll remember about this class. You definitely stayed engaged through the whole program, and if you didn't, you had me thinking that you were really engaged. By the time most of classes get to my unit of differential diagnosis, you are pretty much done with it and want to get through as fast as possible. You definitely all feel like you're a big group of friends, and you definitely can turn anything into a competition, so that makes things fun. But we really appreciate that level of enthusiasm and engagement.
I just wanted to say happy graduation. You were such a fun group. You were so gregarious. Out of all the classes that we've had lately, you were the ones that were party central all the time, and that was fun. I think it helped you get through a hard program, and we certainly enjoyed your company, and I wish you all the best and keep having fun. That's what life's all about.
In our profession, it's very natural for us to be empathetic, and the counter to that is that our profession is very subject to professional burnout. So in order to maybe stave off or prevent that exhaustion, seek ways to increase your emotional intelligence, specifically through empathy. So use empathy on a day-to-day basis and find ways to use it more often.
My advice to the class of 2018 would be to don't forget about going back to the basics if you ever get stumped.
You're really the first class I knew, since I haven't been here quite 2 years yet. So you're the first ones I knew, and I'm gonna cry when you go. You've been fun to know.
What I loved about the DPT program, hands down, was the group Google Docs before tests. Thank God for the group Google Docs.
Walking into Olin every single day and going into the PT office and seeing Carol's lovely face at her desk.
One thing that I love about this faculty is that they're so diverse, so that they're able to offer a bunch of opinions from different perspectives.
All right, this program is awesome, obviously, because the professors are so cool.
Just the family feel of the whole program, just how going through like 3 years with the same group of people, like you really get to know each other, you really kind of bond together.
We're really lucky to have the faculty that we have here. They're wonderful, and they take the time to build a relationship and a rapport with each and every one of us.
I like the size of the program the best, that you are able to get to know the professors and your classmates on a more personal basis.
I think my favorite thing about the program has got to be how small our class size is, because it makes it just so much easier to leave, because after 3 years, I'm pretty tired of you guys after getting to know you.
My favorite part of the Bradley PT program would have to be the people. I mean, big picture, guys. We're going to be friends forever.
What I love about this program is our class and Melissa Peterson, because she's the coolest.
I love that we're able to get so close with both our classmates and our professors, being such a small program. Having the one-on-one instruction and being able to have that relationship with them is great.
Is the Clinic for Fitness and Function. I think it's a great opportunity to work with complex neurological patients.
One thing that I loved especially about this program is the spine class, which I don't know if that's a popular opinion or not, but spine just makes sense to me in the way that it was presented. I really enjoyed that.
So I think the program's awesome. Our class is so creative. Props to Haley for making all these videos that we've done. Our class has just meshed really well together and can do pretty much everything. They're going to be great PTs.
The thing I like most about our class is our diversity, especially that I'm not the oldest one in the program.
We all have different groups of friends, but at the same time we really mesh well together, all of us individually, so we're kind of all a big family.
I really love the professors of our program, just that we can call them by their first names, and we're able to get to know them as people and they know us as people.
I love how close all 24 of us have gotten over the past 3 years and how small the program is.
Love definitely the camaraderie of kind of the class about our program, everyone getting to know everyone and working together for a common goal rather than just competing with everyone is certainly probably one of the biggest pros of the class.
They really spend the time to invest in the class as a whole, but also individually. So the professors take extra time to help you grow as a person.
This morning with AJ, just getting down on a personal level and really speaking to us as you know, almost like friends, colleagues. So thank you for that, and definitely the favorite thing about the program.
The thing I like best about this program is the interaction we have with the faculty, that we can ask them questions and they help us out.
The people within my class are all amazing, and I think we've come together like a family, and I think that's awesome. And the faculty and staff are amazing as well, always there to help us in any way that we need and help us on this journey through the last 3 years.
All right, so I had the privilege of sitting next to Hannah for the better part of 3 years while in PT school. Needless to say, she's a very intelligent person. You know, she kind of epitomizes that keep calm and carry on type thing, because, you know, with all these different tests and projects coming up, you have half the class running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. But you know what? She stays composed and calm and optimistic, and she gets things done, and that's something that I'm very envious of her for.
All right, so one great thing I would say about Jamie is that she has a really good sense of humor. I remember when I was a tech at Pekin, and she had just finished her clinical rotation there, and I was working with some of the patients that she had previously worked with, and they had nothing but great things to say about her and said that they were laughing throughout the sessions when they were working with her. So she's going to be a great physical therapist in the future, I have no doubt.
So Nick, I have always admired his kind heart and compassion towards others. He always goes above and beyond for anyone, and he is going to do amazing things in the future.
Pat Finn, Mr. Mom. And Pat is very caring, and he's outgoing, able to talk to anyone, and we owe him a huge thank you for all of his help in getting our books every semester. Thank you for that.
So I think that Lauren is going to be a really compassionate PT, and I can just see how she's going to relate with people well and just be a really great PT.
All right, so thoughts on Kristen. She has been, next to Kyle, I feel like my closest person almost in the program. We've got paired for everything from research to every group project. It seems like our name comes up. So overall, she's amazing. I think probably everyone could go on about how you're having a bad day or stressed out. You kind of think of Kristen, the fact that she's dealing with, I don't even know how she does it, handling 6 kids and all the responsibilities of PT school that sometimes I feel like I can't even get through. So she's awesome. Can't say enough. Kept me on my toes with research and pretty much everything else. So definitely would nominate her as, you know, hardest worker in the class, and glad she was here.
Haley, you can put down the cue cards. I can just speak about you from the cuff. Okay. So Haley definitely been one of those people that's been like top influence on me throughout my entire career here. Always coming in with that positive attitude, making you smile, making you laugh. Whenever you're having a bad day or whenever you're having a good day, making it even better. I think that we hit it off from the very first day we were in lab when I got to palpate those eyebrows a little bit. A little nose. Inside joke.
Something nice about Caitlin is she shares my coldness, and we are always both always cold together. And anytime we needed to ask some teacher about something or needed to know if we had class or where we had class or what was going on, Caitlin was always on top of that.
Mitch and I got to know each other better in the DR, and he's a very genuine person, genuinely cares about the profession and helping people, and that really shined out down in the Dominican, helping others.
All right, so Zach, he's a really hard worker. He seems to really involve his life around PT. He's always listening to podcasts and doing research. So when in doubt, maybe just ask Zach.
So Matt Kay and I have kind of come full circle. We started off in gross anatomy as partners together, and he had his nice flow coming into school. He did a really great impersonation of Trish for Halloween our first year in school. Then we were research partners for 3 years, which we had a lot of good findings on our research, and overall he's just a great guy. He's going to be a great therapist, and he's also the fastest test taker I've ever seen in my life.
Andrew has a really strong work ethic. He's very honest, he's smart, he's a hard worker, and he just gets along with everybody, so I felt very fortunate to be his research partner this year.
Kyle is an interesting character in that he, first of all, his sock game is on point, spot on. But I think the thing I appreciate the most about him is how he leads by example and is a quiet leader. He's one of those people that he's got so much to offer, yet he doesn't brag about it. His knowledge and his skills are incredible, and he's always willing to help other people.
Matt Miller is a great leader. He's been an awesome class president, and probably the best thing about him is he's the go-to person to get a day off of class. He was very much a key role in getting the whole week of Thanksgiving break off, so thumbs up to Matt Miller.
Something nice about Carly, probably that she's the best solitary player in the whole class. Fact. But she's great to work with. Got to hang out and work with her during my clinical, and then also in the Dominican Republic, and she's so dedicated to PT, and it's going to be great.
Callie, I really liked getting to know her too. She's very fun and energetic, and she has really good style too, which is kind of hard to get to know in our field because we're all in like dress paint or like workout clothes and stuff, but she always has a good style too, so that's been fun.
So what I really appreciate most about Carissa is her initiative and her leadership skills. I think she brings a lot to the profession, just in more than just technical hands-on skills with her. I think she will contribute a lot to the profession in the future, and I really want to thank her from the bottom of my heart for filling in 90% of those Google Docs. Thank you.
I'll talk about Derek a little bit. Derek has one of the most magnificent beards that can be grown today. Second to AJ's though, but Derek can grow a mean beard. He looks like Aaron Rodgers, which he dressed as for Halloween, which was really cool. He's been my research partner for the past 3 years, and he really facilitated that process and made it easy for me and easy for himself, and we worked well together. I appreciate his efforts and his ability to analyze data because I am a rookie data analyzer. So Derek, thank you very much. You've been a great help to me throughout the 3 years, and I appreciate you.
Sam, it's been great to spend 3 years with you. Man, our research didn't always go so well, but we hung in there, we got it done, probably wasn't the most on top of it partner, but you did great.
So what I like about Mike Slack, he definitely provides some consistency to lab table assignments in the Olin lab. We always know where he's going to be, so there's no anxiety or apprehension about that arrangement. I also love how aggressive he is with basketball. He provided me a couple stitches early in our basketball career, which I appreciate his tenacity with that. But in all seriousness, I love Mike. He provides a great perspective to the classroom. He's always very well spoken and contributes quite a bit to our program.
I've known Trisha since we were 10 years old. We played basketball together in high school. She won Best Laugh in high school, and I guarantee she would win Best Laugh again. We worked together in the pro bono clinic with our very first pro bono patient, and it was then that I saw how great of a therapist she's going to be. She's so positive, kind, energetic, and compassionate, and I know she's going to do great things in the future.
Laura is, I think, one of the goofiest people in class. Laura makes me smile just by being herself, just because of the way she is and the way she acts. She can quickly put a smile on my face, which isn't really hard to do, as everyone knows, but Laura does a good job.
Okay, so Pat Tan was always there to encourage me when I was in class. He told me once that I'm allowed to have one vice, which is so I can drink Diet Pepsi. So, always there to encourage me.
All right, Hannah, yes, you are a very, very bright student, and appreciated getting to know you over the undergraduate years and the PT program, and I think you have a really, really, really bright future.
Jamie Brown, she is a very hardworking student, very caring and compassionate.
Nick Burke, Mr. Organization. He was a fantastic GA. He came in with a little experience in athletic training, I think that served him well. I think he handled himself very professionally, day in and day out. I know he's looking out east. I think he's got a job there, and we wish him luck, and hopefully he'll make it back to the Midwest someday.
Pat, you're going to make a great therapist because I've seen you work in the pro bono clinic with some very complex patients, and you did a great job. I've also seen you have a baby during PT school, and you handled that quite well. So those things, those experiences are only going to make you a better therapist.
Lauren G. I've had the pleasure of knowing her since undergrad and spent some time with her in Dublin. She's an old soul. She sees, I think, the big picture. She's got a heart of gold and is very spiritual as well. And I think she's going to do just fine.
Kristen, wow, what an amazing person. Getting through the program and having a big family, my heart goes out to people with big families, and so appreciated all the hard work that you put in, and the tips about the Marine Corps too. That was great. Best of luck to you.
And Haley. So I think all of us can agree that Haley is super sweet, very funny, and fun to be around. And we all think she kind of missed one of her callings, which is this, doing media and television, and I know she can find a way to make that a strength in her life as a PT too.
Caitlin, you're going to make a great therapist because you are what I call the steel fist in the silk glove. You have a great demeanor about you, yet inside you are going to fight every single step of the way for your patient and do what's right. I'm reminded of that with your patient in the clinic who needed a ride home and had to wait for a bus who was never going to come back, and you just put her in your car and took her home. That's just going to make you one wonderful therapist.
I am going to talk about Mitch, and the funny thing is that I get to start by telling why his name was Mitch. So from a faculty standpoint, you have to give us a little bit of slack, because let me tell you about this class. I wrote it down so I'd remember. There were 2 Pats, Laura and Lauren, Kristen and Caitlin, 2 Matts, 2 Mikes, and then Carly and Callie. So when the class started, we were all overwhelmed by our inability to remember everybody's name and to kind of keep everybody separate. So the funny piece is that one of the instructors unintentionally
called him Mitch, and it stuck. So I believe the students probably called him Mitch for at least a year before I finally picked up on it. Like, there is no Mitch in this class. Why do they keep saying that? And so then I asked, and then I learned the story, and it stuck. So I'm not sure his real name will ever be known. It'll just be Mitch.
Zach, you're definitely the fun PT. I think you have a real way of engaging your patients and finding activities that they are really going to enjoy, as well as they'll really benefit from. I think if any of your patients don't like you, they have no personality at all.
Matt Kay, he is a diamond in the rough. I think he has not yet reached his full potential. I don't think he knows his full potential yet, but the sky is the limit with him, and I think special kudos to him for hanging tough on his clinical education with the loss of his father.
Andrew, you're going to make a great therapist because you are sincere, and I know that you look in depth into your patients. You really want to get to know them, and you want to help get them better. And so having your wife also be a nurse, you guys are going to be at dinner time talking about how you helped a patient today, and it's just going to be really a great experience for you, and I wish you the best.
Okay, Kyle, I really appreciate just your quiet strength and leadership that you provide in the class. Very, very conscientious. Really appreciate that about you.
Carly, you're going to make a great therapist because you are easygoing and you definitely roll with the punches. I'm so excited about where you're going and all the things you're going to do in your future.
All right, so Matt Miller. Matt has been with us for a while because he came to Bradley undergrad, so we all remember him being kind of a standout from undergrad. And I think what I can say about him is he's super energetic and really fun to be around. You can tell he's a leader and he's good at it. And I would say the next thing is inquisitive in a really great way. So I have really enjoyed working with him.
Callie, so you come into a room and you brighten it up, and I so much appreciate the fact that you have such a positive attitude. You're going to heal your patients just by walking in the room. So best of luck to you.
Krista, you're going to make a great therapist because of your sound work ethic. I've seen you work in different settings, and especially down in Dominican. You've worked with elderly patients down to pediatric patients, including our cute little one who didn't want to walk, and you just did a fantastic job. And your Spanish abilities to speak another language is just going to be making you a phenomenal therapist.
Derek, if everyone put as much thought and logic into things as you do, I think we'd have cured cancer and achieved world peace by now. We definitely would have had direct access 30 years ago. You're going to do great things, and I'm excited to see what you accomplish. Sam, I think you have a really good BS meter. You have an ear for knowing when patients are telling you what they think you want to hear, and I also think you have a good knack for telling them what they need to hear. So that is going to do your patients a real service, I think. Okay, Tricia, you've been jumping in and helping me take care of whatever needs to be done, I think even before you were officially a Bradley student. So I think you have a real heart for your patients, and you're really going to give them well-rounded care, even if it means getting their groceries or cleaning their house for them.
All right, Mike Slack. So Mike is very grounded. I would say he's mature and grounded, both from an academic perspective, but also from a personal perspective. So we've all admired Mike along the way. I think one thing I will say about him is he is skeptical of things, but in a really great way. So I think he was able to challenge himself, but also to even challenge faculty in a good way to make sure that he understood things at a depth that was really impressive. So I think that's a really positive quality about him.
Laura, I think you're going to make a great therapist because I can see in you that you're dedicated and want to learn about your patients. You take the time to learn about them and get to know them, and you're truly a dedicated and committed person.
I've known Pat for 4 years now. I can honestly say that since the beginning that I've known him, I'm very jealous of his hair. He's got great hair, but not only that, he's got great personality, and I believe that he'll be very successful at showing patients and getting patients to do what they need to do. That being said, Pat Taylor will be a great professional.
Probably Matt Miller.
Matt Miller.
That's a tough question. I think there's lots of competition in the class. Guess I would say Matt Miller.
The most competitive. I think I'm going to pick Matt Miller and Mike Slack, especially from a game or any type of sport type competition perspective.
Most competitive, I would say, is Carissa.
Every single stinking one of you guys.
Matt Kresnicka.
Matt K.
That'd have to be Matt K.
Matt K.
Mr. Kresnicka.
So I'm going to pick Pat Tan, and then I'm also going to say Matt K, although I'm not sure he actually ever studied. I think he's just one of those that has the gift that can remember most things and doesn't have to study. So I'll go with those two.
Could be Nick.
Derek.
I'm going to go with Matt Miller.
That only from a gender perspective could be Matt Miller.
I think Nick would be a good choice for that. I think he's calm and logical, but can schmooze when he needs to schmooze, so that'll be a good combination.
Well, that's a tough question. There's only one Dr. Tippett. I think that if we think about one of his attributes, maybe leadership, I think all of you could be as good a leader as Dr. Tippett is.
I think I would be happy to work with any one of you. We could do a good job together, except for Haley because she keeps videotaping me.
Probably Hannah.
I am going to pick Derek. I think Derek would be an amazing teacher.
Well, it's really a tie between Hannah Booker and you, Haley Hare.
I think I would have to say, just off the top of my head, maybe Jamie Brown.
I think that would be Carissa Niehauser.
I think I'd pick Mitch. He'd be fun, yet knowledgeable. I think Derek would be too hard. I'd probably flunk his class, so I'm going to go with Mitch.
No idea.
Oh, I don't think I want to know that.
He was probably born a big baby.
I have no idea. If I had to guess, maybe it's because he likes to use Mitchum. I don't know.
That's all from Stacy, I think. So she called him the wrong name for a few months, I think, into the semester, and then it just kind of stuck.
Well, it would be me. I have no idea why or when, but I just decided that he should be Mitch instead of Mike. And I, for an entire semester, probably for an entire year, called him Mitch every single time I saw him, and you guys let me do it without saying one word.
So if you're looking for minimal effort and quality work, Matt K's your guy.
Okay, so I'm, take my test, flip to page maybe 2 or 3, and I look up, and Matt's walking out of the room.
For Zach, I can honestly say that I am so jealous. Throughout this whole DPT program, my biggest concern was where am I going to get a job? Where am I going to job? How am I going to get employed? But for you to come into the program already guaranteed a spot at Athletico, hats off to you.
Can anyone tell me why this patient is asymptomatic?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach.
Yeah, they have no symptoms. They have no symptoms.
Yeah, that's what asymptomatic means.
So I'm going to tell you a secret. Not a lot of people know this, okay? So Kristen wears this S under her shirt. And she also likes to take the elevator, okay? We think it's just because she has a heavy backpack, but it's actually because she'll go down the elevator. When she comes out of the elevator, she has this S on her chest and a cape. It's because she's super mom. She has 6 kids, and she's kicking butt in this PT program.
Kristen is like a super mom. She can do PT school and take care of 6 kids. I can barely take care of myself.
So I've had the opportunity to sit next to Kaylin for a number of years, and I think I could attribute some of her successes to me pushing her. If it wasn't for me, she wouldn't volunteer for anything, and she's reluctantly volunteered for everything that we've ever done in PT school. Additionally, her renal system is thanking me because she's drinking less Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi. And additionally, I haven't gotten to attack this 100% yet, but she is wearing less layers than she was before. I also remember at CSM last year helping introduce Caitlin to tacos. She didn't know what a taco was. She didn't know what went into a taco. Never heard of guacamole before. So, you know what? I think that she owes me a big thanks for that.
Most likely to murder someone with his pinky for taking his plinth, Mike Slack.
I already discussed Derek's wonderful beard, and AJ, I aspire to one day grow a beard like yours. So congratulations to you. That is an excellent accomplishment.
So I've really been honored to be Pam's first full class for all 3 years. And I'm especially honored that I got the privilege to hold the 5-minute and stop paddle just to keep her in check in class. Otherwise, she will talk for 3 hours straight without giving us any kind of a break. But for the last time, Pam, it's a residual limp, not a stump.
Brenda, what is the developmental age of that child?
As far as faculty, research advisor Rob, the most chill guy in the program, including students. I still remember the day we had our class with the personality tests, coming in, throwing the test down, not saying a word and walking out, and our entire class looked at the people from Bloomington who had commuted the entire way, and that was a fun day. Not for them maybe, but that was good.
I love Brenda. I think she's an amazing teacher. I think she's a vast wealth of information that she tries to convey to us, but I will never forget one time in class she made a comment about, she's talking about the consequences of getting older, and then she turned and looked directly at me. Yes, I get it, Brenda. I'm a little older than everyone else in here. Thank you for pointing that out.
If you're looking for the gold standard way to do something, Nick's your guy.
Nick, thank you for always being the person if there's awkward silence in class and we are waiting for someone to answer, being that guy. Would nominate you definitely for anything that has to come with class speaking, giving a speech, or just being there to give a solid answer and make our class look good. So thank you.
Sam Shuckles. I have never met a more uncoordinated D1 athlete in my life. But I appreciate that she can roll with the punches and acknowledges, you know, her shortcomings, however many they may be. I'm sure in her self-reflections in class it was a big thing to talk about, and I appreciate her humility.
Sam's typing. It took me a while to notice it, but when we started carpooling from Bloomington, hearing this for 45 minutes really helped me take note. Fee, fi, fo, fa.
If you're ever bringing food to class or ever have a class party, you need to make sure that you're first in line, okay, and get there before Pat Tan. He'll take all the food, okay, and he'll come for seconds. Get there first.
All right, and Pat Tan is probably the most likely to gain weight. Metabolism will catch up to him.
Pat Finn, backstory. Mitch Jewell, that's what she said.
Mike who? Oh, Mitch. Mitch. Just remember, man, watch where you put your feet when you get somebody up for the first time, and don't let anybody get you down about your age. You're young at heart. Puff, puff.
Thank you, Haley. If you ever fail in PT, I think you've got a great opportunity in marketing, public relations, or television. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Mike, Mitch Jewell.
You go. My name's Kaden. My name's Caitlin Olshauser, and I'm like. My name's Kate. Can't say her name. My name's Caitlin Holzhauser, and I'm gonna be the youngest PT of all time. I'm still 22 years old.
I'm Matt Miller. Nah, that sounds dumb.
Just warming up here. Just upping my presidential score here.